Picture two people standing in the exact same moment. Someone says something cutting. The first person goes quiet, absorbing the blow in heavy silence. The second person is firing back before the words even settle, voice raised, the whole room suddenly electric. Same exact insult, two completely different reactions. In your birth chart, the sun represents your everyday personality. But when things go wrong, the more telling part of the story is Mars. Astrology defines Mars as the planet of drive, desire, and specifically, anger. It's the part of the chart that dictates how you chase what you want and what you do when someone blocks your path. Your Mars sign supposedly takes over the second you feel threatened, deciding which version of yourself steps into the fight. The Zodiac organizes this into 4 elemental groups: fire, earth, air, and water. A fire Mars ignites rapidly, loud and fast. An air Mars turns conflict into a debate, using logic as a weapon to hit back with a perfectly constructed argument. Earth Mars reacts with endurance, getting stubborn and refusing to move an inch until the storm passes. Water Mars goes underground. It withdraws and absorbs the conflict in silence, letting the temperature in the room drop without raising its voice. If you felt a little seen by one of those descriptions, you're not alone. While astrology isn't hard science, this ancient categorization maps remarkably well onto modern research. To see how well it maps, we have to look at the clinical psychology of anger. Researchers have spent decades studying how humans fight, completely independent of the stars. They categorize our reactions into 2 camps: anger out and anger in. Anger out is the person projecting feelings onto others, or the nearest slammed door. Anger in is the person who swallows them, letting the frustration sit and corrode internally. These are separate systems. You can score highly in both simultaneously, meaning you might explode at a partner, then spend the rest of the night quietly hating yourself for it. This aligns with 2 of the big 5 personality traits. Low agreeableness correlates with the combative anger out profile, while high neuroticism drives the intense internal storm of anger in. Independent lab research arrived at a destination perfectly matching the Zodiac, mapping our conflict responses into a split between external heat and internal pressure. One of the most famous studies on this comes from John Gottman, who recorded and analyzed the arguments of nearly 2,000 real couples in a lab setting. Gottman found that people don't fight randomly. They fall into 4 styles: avoidant, validating, volatile, and hostile. The volatile style is particularly interesting. These couples have loud, high-volume arguments, but they also express intense affection. They fight hard and love hard, matching the reputation of fire-Mars energy almost perfectly. Gottman's data revealed that relationships often fail when these styles mismatch. When a volatile partner who needs to argue immediately is paired with an avoidant partner who needs to flee, the cycle becomes toxic. One person chases, the other pulls away. The breakdown isn't necessarily caused by bad fighting habits, but by a lack of a shared vocabulary to decode the other person's style. If psychology already has these answers, why does the astrological version feel so much more personal? It's the result of a psychological effect discovered in 1948. A researcher gave students identical personality profiles, telling each student the analysis was highly unique to them. Almost everyone read the generic text as a perfect portrait of their soul. This is the Forer effect. It works when information is slightly flattering, comes from an authoritative source, and claims to be about you personally. Once you believe it's your profile, confirmation bias takes over. You hyper-focus exactly on the one time you held a grudge for 3 days to confirm the text, while forgetting the dozens of times you let an insult slide. Our brains do the heavy lifting, taking a vague cosmic story and anchoring it to our specific memories until it feels like a personalized relation. Asking if astrology is fake misses the practical psychological function it performs. It provides a lens to view our behavior. But there is a massive difference between using a cosmic profile as an excuse and using it as a mirror. An excuse sounds like, "I'm a fire Mars, I explode, that's just who I am." A mirror sounds like, "I tend to ignite, so I should learn to wait 10 seconds before I speak." This shared language gives a couple the ability to step outside their destructive loops. Instead of drowning in the fight, they can name the pattern, she chases, he flees, and observe it objectively. The Mars system forces us to answer exactly what we become in the moment we are hurt. Our conflict styles are shaped by temperament, daily habits, and the household arguments we witnessed as children. But the next time you're in a heated argument, there will be a half-second window where you feel that familiar urge rising, the impulse to go loud or go cold. The stars offer a framework to help us notice our habits, and that moment of recognition gives us the ability to choose a different path.